Join me inside my writing yurt. Come on. This is coming from Jonathan C. In Chicago, and he writes about the word however. He says, I'm confused about how we use the word however, and I can understand why. However is a word that functions in ways that are similar to the word but are not exactly the same as the word but. So let me give you some of my key principles. This is not a complete lesson on the word however, but these are some of my principles that I use when I write. The word however is usually most effective to show a change in thought toward the beginning of a sentence. I'll make up an example. We planned to go fishing together. The weather, however, was terrible. Here I'm showing how one plan, one set of actions that was going in one direction had to change course. We planned to go fishing. The weather, however, was terrible. So we didn't go fishing, say. Here, the word however is used toward the beginning of the sentence, and we use it with a pair of commas. The weather, comma, however, comma, was terrible. This is, I think, the most common use of however, and one of the correct ways to use the word however. However, we can also begin a sentence with the word however. Notice that I just did so there. However, we can also begin a sentence with the word however. This is not an incorrect usage. This is totally legitimate, perfectly acceptable. However, it is also a very strong usage. And like starting a sentence with the word and or the word but, it is a usage that is best kept to a minimum. Or to put it differently, or perhaps better, it is a usage that we should save for those moments when it would be most effective. It's kind of like adding a spice to something that you're cooking, or it's like adding salt. If you add the right amount of salt, all of the flavors in your food will come alive. But if you add just maybe half a pinch too much salt, it spoils the whole dish. However, at the beginning of a sentence is like that. If we use it too often, we get howevered, if you will. It becomes salty. It becomes too much. And our readers start to become distracted by it rather than drawn in by it. One more note about the word however. Sometimes people try to use the word however in the middle of a sentence. I wanted to go to the store, however, I went to the pool. An example sentence. Here we could say the sentence more effectively using the word but. I wanted to go to the store, but instead I went to the pool. That's a perfectly acceptable sentence. The word however, doesn't go very well in the middle of a sentence like that. I wanted to go to the store, however, I went to the pool is a sentence which can become confusing because there is a second usage of however. However, I went to the pool, I always went happily. Here's an example sentence. Here we're using however not in the sense of but. Here we're using it in the sense of whatever way. However I went happily. In whatever way I went happily. Because of the second usage of the word however, when we stick it in the middle of the sentence and use it like the word but, we end up with a sentence which can be confusing to a reader or to someone listening to it. That's why I always advise not to use the word however in the middle of a sentence when the word but would be more effective and more clear. So those are my basic thoughts on the use of the word however. And so, Jonathan, I hope that that helps at least clarify your question and gives you a place to start from and to continue forward from.